school, new school, need to know this. Get your game up, you better keep focused.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3 of The Weight Within. My name is Gina.
And I'm Ashley.
And we are super excited to be catching up with you all today. We have one of our next guests that'll be joining us later. But first, we're going to do our run through of what's going on with us. So, first things first, Ashley, I feel like you have a story to tell. If you all don't follow Ashley at Lola Bunny Runs on Instagram.
I don't run anymore. I'm immobile.
She's not immobile. She's slow. So go ahead. Tell us update on your wellness journey.
I know that Peloton's not responsible for what happens to me, so this is not their fault, but I was on a ride and I got injured. It was a really good song, and I guess I was really excited.
Do you remember what song it was?
It was Alice DJ, Do You Think You're Better Off Alone?
Oh, you was jamming.
That's a banger.
Banger? Okay.
It's a banger. So my kids say. But yeah, I'm in a boot now until Easter. Yay for me.
How many weeks is that? In case, obviously, we'll be sharing this.
Yeah.
Later.
What is it? I realized.
How many weeks are you in the boot?
I educated a lot of people about what tennis leg is. That's what I have. I was diagnosed with tennis leg. For those, it's a tear in your calf. For those of you who don't know what that is.
And how many weeks is the boot?
6 weeks.
Okay.
So yeah, it was crazy because my god sister, that like an hour before I injured myself, she had broken her toe and she was in the ER. And I was like, speedy recovery. I joined her shortly after. Retrograde.
Does your boot go up to your knee or is it?
So they gave me a choice yesterday. And as a person who's never had one, I said, that one looks like, I'm 5'4". That one looks like it would be on my thigh. I don't want that one. It's too much boot. I didn't know that that was the boot that I should have chosen. So now I ordered another boot. My orthopedist said, you only get one. So now you have to order your own. $70 later. And I also am walking like a toy soldier. So I had to get some Hokas so that it can kind of balance me out.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, they were on sale yesterday, so I got them. So
Are they? Are they still on sale?
They still are on sale. It was $98. It was great. So if you love Hoka, on Hoka's website, it was great.
I need a new pair of Hokas. Maybe I will go order.
This is my first pair. So my first boot and my first pair of Hokas. So I'm gonna be moving. So my journey has been on a downward spiral.
Well, you've just been sat down for a little.
I sat down, but
your body said, "Sit down."
Did you see my beads though? I'm just gonna say.
Oh, tell the world.
Them beads. Gina warned me. I woke up one night. I don't know what I had. I think I might have had I stole some Chinese from my kids. I'm gonna tell you right now, I could not breathe. Gina, I could not breathe. I did not know what to do. I forgot I had them on. You lied. I know you tried to say like this. It hurts.
I told you, like a sausage is what I said, in fact.
I actually think it's quite effective. It's a torture device, but it also makes you feel good when they're loose. I love it. I love it.
Right.
So it's good. It's good. What about you?
Oh, my journey? It's going pretty good. I realized that I wasn't seeing a lot of movement in what I wanted to do because I actually wasn't moving a lot because, I work, I'm doing stuff from home, my business is all me. And so I sit at home and I'm, working along, blah, blah, blah. I will get on the bike and do my workouts, but I wasn't like hitting any steps. And I was like, I really need to get out and do something. Get up, get out and do something.
But it was also very cold.
It was, but I also have a gym in my building. Look at your face.
I'm tired of this. I am tired of this. You have never said that.
Well, the gym is kind of raggedy. Let me be clear.
It doesn't matter. We could have been working. We could have did a live from the gym. And
oh, girl, wait till you see this gym. I mean, there's a treadmill in it.
She said, "That's it." If you call that a gym,
right? There's a couple treadmills. I think there's an elliptical. Anyway, point is I've started going down to the gym and like where I watch a show or something, I just put a show on my phone and I walk down there for like an hour to give myself some steps. And I don't like it's not a workout.
No.
It's like I'm strolling, but for an hour straight. Like
But
some
walking is more effective than running. So you're
right.
absolutely
That's what
right.
they say. And they say, walking at a slow to moderate pace helps you with like fat burning and stuff. So I started doing that last week. And I don't know. I'm now decided to start weighing myself weekly. Before I was weighing myself every day.
So we have changed positions.
Are you weighing every day?
I don't. As I'm saying, you're becoming Ashley? What's going on?
Yeah, yeah, weekly. And then what else? I've been cooking still, but I've been really trying to be focused on protein. I've been trying to hit 170 grams of protein, which is a lot harder than people act like it is. Like
I tell
it's
people all
hard.
the time. At my peak, I would get to 200, but that was crazy. And I realized why I was so big when I was pregnant is because I never met a calorie I didn't like. Like I can eat.
I mean, I can eat too, but the protein factor, right? Like it's not like I ever am like, oh, let me pick up the thing that's high in protein to eat. I
Yeah.
can eat. It's just been it's a lot harder to get that protein than people put on. But now I've started adding whey protein
Oh
to
yeah.
stuff because I was using my collagen and saying,
Hmm.
"Oh, that's protein." But my good friend over at Chatty GPT told me that collagen doesn't have some of the key protein things you need because it's based on collagen. It is protein, but it doesn't have like licopene or something like that. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, so I need that. So I've been adding this whey protein, which, by the way, I
I
just
don't
want to
like it.
say
I was waiting
to,
for you to say something. Do you like the way it tastes?
no, and I got plain flavored, right? But it is a nemesis to anything that you want to add it to. Like my collagen, I can just toss in real nice
That's
into
why
my
I like the collagen.
coffee or tea, and I put it in there, and that shit absorbs real nice. This way, it is it's a demon. Like,
It's almost like you need to sift it
yeah,
before.
yeah. They actually say, so I've been doing research. I gotta pre-mix it in cold water and then add it to something hot, or have the hot add slowly to the cold.
I can see that because then it seizes up and then you're eating clumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, what I'm doing is throwing it out because I'm not drinking that.
See me when I'm doing something, I'm gonna consume it. I don't care how gross it is.
Well, also it works the best. That's gross. It works the best in shakes.
I just can't get behind the way.
Yeah,
I
I
like
did
the
it though. Today I
collagen.
put 50 grams of that in my protein, and I used my protein shake that I drink anyway. That's like a chocolate one. It's the base, which is 20
Hmm.
grams. So I had breakfast today, and it was 79 grams of protein.
That's what I get behind. See, I realize I like collagen for two things. No, it does not have as high protein as whey. However, it's good for our bones and the
Oh,
recovery.
I
It
still do
has,
my collagen. It's just
yeah. But I'll just eat. I found now the get behind Kirkland. Hey, Kirkland. I graduated from their tuna to now their salmon in a can, and I've been making salmon cakes. It's delicious.
I
Jerk
love
salmon,
salmon cakes.
but I make it jerk salmon cakes. Oh baby, it is great. And then also been still with my cottage cheese. I'm gonna die
Yeah,
on
but
that hill.
cottage cheese, like I get it. But I have been doing cottage cheese. Like I made a tzatziki sauce that was made out of cottage cheese.
Love it.
However, to get the full 13 grams of protein, you got to eat like a cup of cottage cheese.
No, it depends which one you choose.
Well, girl, I'm not eating a cup of nobody's cottage cheese. I can tell you that right
I
now.
eat a cup. You got to, and egg whites. Those are my favorite. But
I eat eggs all the time and with egg whites. But the other thing that I've been getting, yogurt. I brought yogurt back.
what kind?
Chobani Greek yogurt with zero sugar and 20 grams of protein
I
in
like
one
those.
cup.
So I used to eat those. I first used to like the ratio ones because those were 25 grams. Then I went to Chobani and I just find like the sugar was too much. So now this is gross. But I just eat the plain with nothing. It kind of tastes like cream cheese. But when I tell you the idea of just with that and like 2 ounces of blueberries, it's one of
Yeah,
those things
that's what I used to eat. Was
you
that
close
and
you close your eyes and you just consume it really fast because the plain one literally tastes like I can't describe it. It tastes like it just came from the cow. It's out the cow. It's curdled. It's weird, but
it's not curdled, not Greek.
it is Greek, but I don't know. It's just the water is on top, and someone said you don't throw out the water that keeps
Yeah,
happening
you
because
stir it up.
somebody said you're supposed to stir it up, and the idea of stirring that up also makes me gag. It's a lot. And now I have no choice because now that I can't move my legs to do cardio, I really got to get behind this nutrition. I got to get behind the one broccoli and 6 ounces of chicken breast. I got to.
Yeah, agreed. All right, so those are our updates. Oh, and I also been I talked about the walking. I've been doing my Peloton rides. I've done 2
I was
live
about to say,
classes.
first of all, you're a celebrity, you're a VIP. You've done 2 Peloton rides. Talk about it. And I took one of them and I cried. It was an emotional experience. It was great.
It was a good. I cried in the studio, and the second one
Yeah.
that I did with the BET sisters in
Yes.
Peloton. Tunde was on there. She got in the class and was like, "Oh, let me show y'all what my real world is like." And I think the entire class was standing.
Really?
I left the studio and was walking to the train in slow motion.
Really?
And then when I got home, I got in my apartment and I walked in the bathroom and I got my asthma inhaler and I did an inhale, like I took it because I was like, my chest, like it was like 70 to 80, 40 to 50 resistance. I was like, what is happening? And half the class, more than half the class, had never done a Peloton ride. So she was pretty much like, "Oh, let me show y'all what this world is." And I was in there like there was like 25% of us had been were like Peloton people. And she
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, watch them. They know what they're doing." And there was like one point when I was like running along and I looked down and this guy was staring at me to be like, "What's she
Wow.
doing?"
I think that's what I'm gonna miss the most. And like even after my recovery, it definitely has become like I was like, I don't get it. I don't get the rage, but the rave behind it. And then I was doing it consistently and I was like, I get it. It's such a good, I don't know, it's a very personal experience.
Yeah.
Especially for those who like, I like the gym space, but it's still intimidating to me. I don't care what size I am or what my experience is like. It's very just, I like it. It's in my space. I can set it up how I want to, and I'm doing both. I now started doing strength classes because of you. And I was like, oh, there's challenges on here. So it like builds me my own personal plan. So I'm gonna miss it.
I should
But
get some props for this.
yeah, but I think I'm gonna lean into it. I'm gonna see what I can find. They got a lot of Pilates. They have so many great instructors now. I was just like, this is amazing. So
So
something
me and
for
my friend are
everyone.
about to do a new challenge starting next week. Do you want to join us?
Let's join it. Let's talk about it. Let's get the people on it. What are we doing?
Oh, it's one of the courses, Pump Up the Volume 6.
All right, when you see my output, don't laugh at it. I
Girl,
gotta go.
it's all strength, so we won't
Okay.
see your output.
Okay, good. So let's get behind it. I'll join it. Tag
All
me.
right, so the next faction of our check-in before our guest is around anything in the news that we wanted to talk about related to wellness.
Yes.
Because we know you like to
Go on a tangent.
go into
Anything.
conspiracy theories, but
Honestly, I have not been on this week, but I was on today. Um, and I don't know how, but my content is all very much so moms making it happen. I kind
mm,
of love that story for me. Obviously, we know the algorithm is, they say that they're not listening to us, but they are. So, so my algorithm has completely changed from the look at me now and the recipes to simple meals that you can make for your family so you don't have to make like multiple dinners. And I'm seeing a lot of moms like getting up and going to the gym with their kids or spouses working out. I kind of think it's a new trend and I think it's very, very cute and also kind of inclusive. It's a different view, and I don't know if that's everyone's, but that's what I've been seeing.
I definitely have not seen one thing related to
Really? It's
oh
so funny how different our algorithms are. Well,
yeah.
you're a VIP member now, so I'm sure you've seen different experience, different challenges. Talk about it. Did you try any new recipes since you've been
Have
cooking?
I tried any new recipes? No, I did try. Trader Joe's has a chicken shawarma that they sell that's like raw chicken. You cook it
Yes.
yourself. It's like boneless chicken thighs. Baby, I don't know what I was thinking and missing out on this. It is so delightful.
Is it
And
good for you though? Because I love Trader
it
Joe's.
is good. It is. It
When
was
you look at
actually,
the nutrition facts,
I
it's good.
did.
Okay.
It's just seasoning. There's no like,
Oh, this
but
is not like the pre-made stuff. It's just like pre-seasoned meat. Oh, I love their like lemon
yeah, pre-seasoned meat and not
pre-seasoned
high in
meat. Yeah.
sodium. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
And so I made that, and that's when I made the tzatziki cottage cheese that I
The
made.
Greeks are gonna come after us.
Maybe because I'm ruining the name.
To
Yeah,
ruin it.
probably.
I don't even know how to say it, but I know
Well,
exactly.
first of all, no one came after me for my apparently terrible Russian accent. And
Somebody in the comments said it did give Coming to America.
yeah,
I don't know who said it, but I was like, thank you. I wasn't the only one. I swear to God, this was an African man. I
whatever,
should
they're haters.
know.
I think that might have been my sister.
That's hilarious.
So
I did not
obviously
hear
a
Russian.
hater as well.
I did not hear Russian. But yeah, they're gonna come after you. But you know what? That sounds
Whatever.
amazing.
They should come after me for loving their sauce.
I do want to make a new recipe that I saw, which is like a high fiber salads, because on Fridays I'm not eating meat
Right, me
during
either.
Lent.
But I
Um,
eat fish.
yeah, I haven't been. It's weird. I don't eat carbs, and I've been trying not to eat protein like actual meat, but I'll have like bone broth or something like that. This is a very different spin. I'm starving on Fridays. I feel like put me on the cross, Jesus, please, God forbid. Like I hate it. I hate it. Oh, that's blasphemy. Don't strike me down.
I feel like
But
it's not time yet. Jesus is like, give us a
right,
few more
it's
weeks.
so bad. I know we're already in Revelations. Don't get me started. But it's so bad. I know. I promise you, I wasn't gonna say it. It's Lent. You can't stop me from professing my love for my Lord and Savior. And I almost met him when I hurt my calf.
Praise him. Every once in a while, you try
But
to test
yeah,
me to see if I'm gonna be like,
I
nah,
know you were like, I ain't never going to hell, baby. I'm
nah,
gonna
not on your dime, baby.
profess my love every time. But yeah,
I
back to
love
my
the
thing.
Lord.
It was this Brussels sprouts salad that I saw, which I've never had Brussels sprouts raw. It's kind of
Oh,
like
I
how I
love
feel
it.
about kale, but everyone says when you chop them very finely, it's very good and it's very filling. So I think I might film that because, like you said, I never actually be filming some of the stuff I'd be doing. I didn't do the cottage cheese tiramisu thing, but I think I will do that. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna try just to try to find a new way. It's allowing me to find creative ways to include fiber. I think, and I saw someone actually say that this week. We're talking about this protein, but we're not talking about consumption of fiber. And if you don't
Yeah,
have fiber, baby, we of a certain age, you already know what's going to happen.
yeah.
So for the girlies that
I'm
are
very,
not having the movements like they should,
mm-hmm.
you got to get some fiber in there, y'all. At least
Yeah.
30. I try to aim for 25 grams, but at least 25 to 30. 30 is ideal.
Well, I think the 25 is the ideal amount.
Yeah. So good.
That's what they say is the nutrition fact. All right, cool beans. All right, we're gonna get ready for a second guest
Second.
who
That's so
is
cool.
joining us shortly.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. We are so excited to introduce our guest for this episode. This is CeCe Olisa. She is a certified fitness instructor and the founder of Coco by CeCe, where body care meets softness and intention. I am a customer, so I am familiar with the softness. As an advocate for women's health, beauty, and sports, she shares joyful movement, everyday wellness, and confidence first routines designed for real bodies living real lives. CeCe, welcome to the Wait Within.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And so for our listeners, I will share that CeCe and I do know each other. We met in the vineyard. We met in the vineyard mainly because she walked in and I was like, oh my God, I have been following her for years. I know her. And I was
We
like,
met at like a golf course, wasn't it?
yeah,
Like we like
we were
very,
at
I love
like a
that for us.
It was a very bougie Black event. And we were like, and I was like to my friends, I'm going to talk to her because I follow her and I'm going to say hello. And you were so kind and so receiving of my fandom. And then we hit it off.
And
So,
then we became like real life friends.
yeah, yes,
I
I
love,
love this
listen,
exactly.
story.
my dolls are good people. So if I see dolls in the wild, I'm always happy about that. And you were so sweet. So I'm glad we've been able to stay in touch. We've been seeing each other in the vineyard now for a few years since then,
Yeah, it has been a couple
and
of
in
years.
the
Yeah.
city too. So yeah, we're
And yeah,
friends.
we're homies now. It actually doesn't even matter. Who are you? Anyway, so we have a bunch of questions. So excited to talk with you. Um, Maybe for our listeners who don't know your story, and Ashley who doesn't know your full story either, can you tell us a little about the journey that led you to become a fitness instructor and wellness advocate?
Sure. I'll start from where we are today and then I'll work backwards a little bit just for a little context. So
Okay,
yes, I am a certified fitness instructor and I am a Manhattan girl who is on a GLP-1 journey. I
nice.
have lost 100 pounds over the last 8 years.
Wow.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank
That
you. Thank you. And I still have about 50 more to go. And so, GLP-1s are here and I do so it's interesting for me to be publicly on a GLP-1 because plus size women and being a plus size woman is a part of my identity.
Mm,
I think my therapist talks about reference group memberships, being a woman, being Black, being
yeah,
part of, this or that. So for me, being plus size is a reference group identity membership for me to the
agreed.
point where I co-founded the Curvy Con, which is a plus size fashion convention that happens during New York Fashion Week. So when I was, at the height of the Curvy Con, I was almost 400 pounds. And
Wow.
so I am to this day a plus size woman, passionate about plus size women, and I love to use my creativity to illuminate wellness for plus size women, for women in general. But I think the plus size experience is so specific and so nuanced.
Mm,
And so for me, becoming a certified fitness instructor was really about embracing the idea that your fitness journey is going to be different when you're plus size.
mm,
You sometimes they'll say stand shoulder width apart and you have thigh meat going on and you need to figure something else out. You know what I mean? Like whatever that
right.
looks like, from just the
Yes.
confidence and the comfort to the literal modifications that are needed. I just feel like
Mm,
so many people in that space have never lived in a body that is 400
mm,
pounds, that has extra
mm,
skin, that has extra, nooks and crannies and whatever that may look like. So making sure that it's accessible and feels good and joyful for women is something that I'm super passionate about. Any way that I can help with that. So going from being almost 400 pounds and being co-founder of the Curvy Con to now being publicly on a GLP-1 and kind of weighing around in the 220s now, and we'll see how we go from there. It's a lot, and it's a lot to do in front of 100,000 women at a time. So that's kind of how we got here, the now and the then. I
mm.
hope that was clear. I don't know, Ashley.
so clear. So no, when you got to the point about shoulder width and like obviously I my first experience being plus size was after having kids.
Mm,
And I was like, when you say people don't live in that body, it is a different space. And
yeah.
getting back into working out, it's so funny, I'm injured now, but I remember getting injured when I decided to work out again. And it was just because I was like, oh, you don't know how to move this body. You don't know about the limitations within it. And I did have a coach, but again, I had a coach that was working with people who, for the most part, are very fit.
Right.
I
Mhm,
wasn't there yet. So, like you said, that nurturing that comes, it's so
mhm.
funny. You see it prenatal, but post, it's almost like
Oh,
you get that prenatal, like, oh, you need to go slower. You need to, but
uh-huh.
once you get that baby out, it's like,
They
why
like forget
aren't you?
about it.
Snap back, huh?
So, and it took a long time. So when you said that, honestly, I know my face kind of thing, but I think it's a real thing. And it's not specific to people only who are plus size, but I think people who are now in this phase of their life, that weight is not static. I thought we talked about that in our last episode. Like I'm getting closer to an age that's like, yeah, I'm realizing like, yeah, this is not gonna fall off as easy. You're gonna have to start to live with this and be comfortable with it and the
Yes.
authenticity that comes with it. So I love that you're making space um and you're educating people on how to make space for this new body that
Mhm.
you're gonna live with. You have to love it.
Mhm.
So why not nurture it
Mhm.
and be in spaces that nurture it? So I love that.
Mhm.
So that actually leads to our next question of why you decided to start your own business. Well, you kind of talked about it, but like, what does that look like for your clients? Do you hold classes? What what does it look like, and how do you create those spaces, or do you think do coaching offline for people to
Good
start to become
question.
comfortable with who they are or have who they have been?
Yeah, most of my platform is public and free on social
Yeah.
media. I have been creating plus size workout videos for probably 10 years now.
Wow.
And so in the beginning, I mean, that's how I kind of learned because I would bring in trainers and I would be teaching them the plus size modifications. And I was like, oh my gosh, like they have the certification, but I have the expertise, right? So kind of
Mm,
finding that. So it was really in a lot of ways for my own confidence. I wanted to be able to share online and share what I'm doing and know that I have the actual certifications to like back that up. It just made me feel more confident in sharing that. But my passion for women's health, especially for curvier women, has been there from the beginning. Even with the Curvy Con, I was very passionate as we grew. At first, we were just one day, and then ultimately we ended up to be like this big multi-day event, and like thousands of women are coming, and people would be like, why do you all have a fitness session? Why do you all have a workout session in the beginning? Like at traditional fashion week you know, when they're going to the shows downtown or wherever, they're not working out. Like, why do the big girls at their fashion week have to work out, right? And for me, I'm
mm,
just like, you know, reaching plus size women at every stage of their life. Like, first of all, 67% of women are above a size 14, right? Even me having lost 100 pounds, I'm still a size 18, right? So
mhm,
when you're talking to plus size women, you're talking to women.
yeah,
And as we get older, that body shift of our weight, when it comes to longevity, your weight becomes part of your longevity conversation, right? So if I'm
mhm,
going to bring 1,000 plus women a day, well, we were bringing in like a few thousand by the time
yeah.
it was done daily to New York
Wow.
City. We're going to talk about clothes and we're going to talk about fashion and Lizzo's going to show up and Venus Williams is going to show up. I cannot not mention health. Like if I have your
I know.
attention, I
Yeah.
have to talk about the health thing. The pretty dresses are cute, jeans in your size. I want you to have them, but I also want to make sure for longevity purposes that we're talking about our holistic well-being. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so that's always been super important.
So
Yeah.
that's actually good for our next question. A lot of people struggle with like starting their fitness journey. So
Mhm.
like when you held these forums or these platforms for people to do so,
Mhm.
how did you coach people into feeling comfortable with movement? Because I do think there is a stigma.
Mhm.
I remember when I used to be a dancer, one of my instructors was a plus size woman, and everyone would be like, "There's no way that woman can move her body like I've never seen. Splits, she could do like every possible move, her
Yeah.
leaps, everything was seamless." And that
Mhm.
was the first, at least for me, but that was because I chose to go to a school that had Black instructors. If
Mhm.
Right.
you don't see that, it almost is not normal for people to
Mhm.
be like, oh, someone can move like that.
Mhm.
So, how do you introduce them? How do you make them comfortable? How do you help them build a routine?
I'm so grateful that you brought up dance. I grew up dancing
Oh,
and
nice. Yeah.
I was the plus size dancer
Right.
in the classes, right? Um and I do believe that growing up dancing gave me a relationship with my body that translated into fitness when I was trying to learn that, right? So
Mhm.
for me, the concept of gym intimidation, it is real.
Well,
To walk into a gym or any sort of fitness environment, no matter what size you are, if you're doing something you've never done before, yoga,
Right.
spin class, swimming lesson, whatever that is, there's already that, you know,
yep.
anxiety as we get older. It's like, wait a second, I'm supposed to know everything. No, we don't, right? So then add on to it any sort of like body insecurity or not feeling like people understand what you're working with. It can be really intense. So one of my favorite things to do is to host workouts in different verticals where I can bring women in and kind of like introduce the concept of the workout in a safe space where it's like, this is going to be your first class. Don't worry about it. Like everybody's new. You've never sat on a spin bike before. Okay, we're going to do this. You've never done aerial yoga before. Okay, we're going to do it. Right. So the idea of like just once you've done it that first time and you understand what it feels like in your body, then you can kind of grow from there. And it's okay to be like, oh, I took that class and I did not like it. Like, my little CeCe, the first time I sat on a spin bike, she was not interested in going back. I did not go
Baby.
back for
That
years.
bike is not built for us. I'm gonna tell
What?
you right now.
What? But then I had to learn, but later on, and I will say part of that, I was at my heaviest, right? So it just wasn't quite working. And then I probably was down 50 pounds. So I was still bigger than I am now. And I took a spin class again. And that's when someone informed me that it's almost like if you can do 3 classes in a week back to back, then your body will adjust. And like I never felt that seat pain again once I got into it. But
Yeah.
that first class, I was like, I'm out. Like I'm not
Enough.
going back,
Yeah,
right?
I'm tapping out. I'm
Right.
tapping out.
Right.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
So to be able to teach classes and be like, okay, come to this spin class. We're going to walk you through the bike, this and that. And also tomorrow morning when you wake up and it hurts, go take another class as soon as you can after. And it's like you can like break that and it'll never happen again. Those are little things you just learn by doing, right? Or it's okay
Yeah.
to say like, no, spin isn't for me and I'm actually a Pilates girl and I'm going to do that instead, right? Finding what works for you that feels joyful. I don't think fitness should ever feel laborious or painful or like a chore. Like I just don't think any of that needs to be there. So getting the intimidation factor down, getting the anxiety down, and just creating the safe space. Like I find fulfillment in doing that for women. And then they can go off and go to a yoga retreat or go do this or that. And they'll know, like, oh yeah, I took a Pilates class once. Like I know what to do. I know to ask for a yoga block. I know to
Yeah.
ask for a strap. You know, I know what to
Mhm.
do so that I can make these moves work for my body. And those are things you learn over time.
Yeah. And I think with and I've experienced that. I did a spin class with
Did
CeCe.
come to one of my spin
I did. And
classes.
I had done spin before, but I also remember my first time ever doing spin. And I remember walking in and being like, this is not my community. Like I was like, yeah,
Right.
I don't think this is for me. And then yes, you're right. The seat was terrible. But I will say when I did that class with you all, when you did that, I thought what was magnificent about it was how comfortable it was
Mm.
for people in the space that may not know how to get on the bike, how to unclip, how to clip, what does it mean to ride? Do you need to stand up? Do you have to do everything? And I think that was what was so good about it was like at that time I was a person that was, I have a Peloton.
You're a
I get
Peloton girl, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I'll go support. I love getting on the bike and what have you. But the whole time I thought this is a great opportunity for anyone who doesn't know it to experience it in a safe space. And I
Mhm.
think that's what you're building is inclusive health for people. Like, you're providing them with inclusive opportunities to learn how to do stuff, right? And or try it out at least to know if they like it or not, because it's not all health doesn't mean you got to be skinny only to do it.
Or you have to do it like this, or you have
Yeah,
like there is a way for everybody to do what they want to do,
right.
right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the wellness piece of it.
Hmm.
So, knowing you brought, you talked about Curvy Con and how you were 400 pounds before and you've lost this weight and you're still focused on this wellness journey. So, as a person who's followed you for a while, I did watch the shift when you announced that you were going to give GLP-1s a try. So, we're no reporters, but I love to get into the petty business here and now and there. And that is with that. So I'll say, for listeners and for Ashley to hear the background on when CeCe, and I'll give my summary and then you can tell me if I'm all out of pocket, but I don't think I will be. The plus size, let me preface it here. The plus size community, especially on Instagram, is a community that was built because people felt like they didn't have any other space to feel seen. And so, and especially the plus size fashion space, right? There was never anybody in bodies that had outfits on that were cute. There wasn't people putting stuff together. There was hardly even brands when it started coming out. And then brands started doing it. Then it became a whole thing. Then there was all this push to like, let's support the plus size community and bring in models into the fashion shows, blah blah blah. So, anyways, I'm a part of the community. I used to work with a brand. CeCe was a part of the community, obviously by creating Curvy Con. And so now here we are today, where there's not as many focus areas on it. The market is flipped. So I think a lot of the plus size community feels like, what about us? Right. And that was happening regardless, I would argue, um, regardless about GLP-1s, because I always contain plus size community equal diverse. And for these companies that are retracting on diversity, that includes those people that have body diversity. So, with that said, CeCe proudly went out and was like, I'm going to try GLP-1, which is not unheard of for her to do, because she also was like, I'm going to do aerial yoga. I'm going to do Pilates. I'm going to try this.
I needed CeCe when I did aerial yoga. There were places that hurt. And I was like, this is not built for Black women. I don't care how much fabric you have. I don't
Maybe
like the
I'm
way
not
this
doing
is.
it. I didn't care.
I don't like the way it's scrunching me in.
Give me more fabric. Give me
I
more.
need, the lady was like, there's enough, it can hold you. And I said, no. The
No,
only person that can hold me up is our Lord and Savior, not that hook or that fabric. I don't trust it.
I
I
can't
didn't
say.
like it. No.
Yeah,
We don't like hanging from anything. No.
I know that's right.
right? Our ancestors told us, don't you hang from nothing
Don't
ever
you
again.
hang. This is a red flag.
Red flag alert.
But I'll take it with you, CeCe. If you do it, I will hang in a space where I feel safe.
Gina will hook it up. We'll figure out a way to get that done.
That
Yeah,
that would be hilarious, by the way, because
it
I can
would.
hear
It
me
would be a
screaming,
moment.
hooping, and hollering. In fact,
Yes, but back to
anyway,
you said.
so she announced it, and then all of a sudden, people came out of the
I
wood.
remember when you told me she announced it, and I didn't know you yet, CeCe, but I was like, is it that bad? And you were like, it
It
was
was
bad.
wild. Like the comments were like, "How dare you? How could you?
Ugh,
We thought you were for us. Well, I'm an unfollow now." And I always think it's funny when people
wow.
announce I'm going to unfollow. Just unfollow. Have a kick.
Wow.
Anyways, the whole time I was like, this is a little excessive. Now there are people that I will argue on in that were part of the plus size community that had, went on GLP-1s,
Mhm.
then didn't tell anybody,
You
and then
tried.
all of a sudden they were like, they lost all this weight. And then they were like, as a smaller size person, it's really important that you stay focused on your health. And that made people lose their mind. I understand that because you tried to live a secret life and now you're trying to flip it. But this was just her announcing that she was going to give it a try. Not even that she was like, I'm totally only for this, that, and the third. All right. Now, CeCe, I know I gave my summary. So my question is, one, what was that like, and how did you carry yourself through it?
First of all, thank you for the summary. I appreciate it. You hit all the important
Gina
points.
is an advocate, okay? She was the advocate in this space. She said,
Thank
not my CC.
Listen,
No.
Like this.
and it's nice to speak to people who are in the community, who were there, who get it. Like you gave the historical context, you gave everything. So I really do appreciate that.
Thank you. You're welcome.
What was it like and how did I navigate through it?
Yes.
Mhm.
I will start by saying that um having lost 100 pounds over 8 years, I don't know about you, but when I lose weight, I call it like decades. Like, every 10 pounds, it's like a decade, right?
Yes.
And for me, people often notice my weight loss every 10 pounds or every 50 pounds, right? So it'll be like
Mhm.
pound 49, nobody notices anything. And then pound 50, it's like, whoa, like it's like suddenly everyone just like sees it.
Mhm.
So, as a plus size woman, the weight comes and goes. So, my community had seen me gain and lose 50 pounds over the years, right? Like up and down, up and down. And then when I really got out of that, when I really pushed past that 50 pounds and really headed towards the 100-pound mark, that was the first time that I experienced like a harsh or how could you, or a betrayal feeling, like a response to the weight. And what was complicated was that people would in the comments, they would be critical of the fact that I'm losing weight. And then in my DMs, they would be asking me for advice on how to do it. Right.
Mm, the
And
betrayal.
so for that first 100 pounds, that experience was too much for me, right? And this is during Curvy Con times. Like, so I'm very visible as a plus size woman in the community. And this whole like, okay, like there's two different things happening here that wasn't working for me. So I really just got quiet about it. I really just put my head down and like went to work. And I actually feel like that's a big part of how I was able to get that 100 pounds done over the 8 years. Because let's be real, I was trying to lose that 100 pounds from time, right? Like this was not my first rodeo trying to get it done, but it was almost like shutting out the noise and like being like, I'm not going to document this. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to. And then by the time the pandemic happened, I had a lateral meniscus surgery during the pandemic, which was crazy. So so once I was able to get through the pandemic, get through a lateral meniscus tear, and bounce back into that 100 pounds down, even though I knew I still had 50 more to go, right? Once the pandemic happened, I was like, I just need to hold, right? Like if I can just hold on,
I
because
agree.
I'm not leaving the house. So this is gonna be
Yeah.
crazy. So then I kind of understood, like, okay, like you've been in the same size jeans for this amount of time. You can wear your coat from season to season, and like you don't have to, I've put on a coat in my former plus size life and been like, oh, like,
Fat man in a
like
little coat.
Yeah.
That funny
The
scene.
arm,
That I have
baby, no one
definitely
talks
done
about
that.
when you can slide that arm in your coat and it feels good. Baby,
listen,
Right. When you
listen,
don't have to be like, can I wear this with a sweater or
but
no?
this is where I'm at. Why make me a size 14, but my arm can't fit? Jake, let me not call them out because there's specific brands that I was like, this is a 16, but my
Yes,
arm, this is for a toddler. I can't get in this.
agreed.
yeah,
And
Agreed.
now I
I mean,
can't,
like,
now my back hurts because I feel like if I do any sudden movement,
you can't.
baby, no one talks about how that coat will lock up your back.
Yes,
baby. And it'll be like midday, you got this blazer on, and you'll be like, why does
My
yes,
back hurt.
yes.
back hurt?
Like,
Oh,
what is happening?
it's this tight ass blazer. Anyway, sorry. Yes.
No one talks about it. God, it's so good.
It's a real thing, right? So for me, keeping that 100 pounds off was huge, right? Because it meant like the lifestyle change had happened, right?
Right.
Like, okay, fine. And when I started, my doctor was like, hey girl, like these GLP-1s, you need to try them. And I was on my body positive soapbox. I'm thinking about the community, like, no, like I can't, like just the politics of it all. I just was resisting. And my doctor really, he stayed on me. And and he stayed on me in a way that was productive. It
That's
didn't
good.
feel shameful. It felt very like educational. And ultimately, he gave me a complimentary Ozempic pen, like when it first was dropping. And
Wow.
I did not realize, like, this dude just handed me like
Literal
liquid
crack. Like he
gold.
was giving you
Gold.
the gold from the shelf that people were fighting in the streets for.
And I was kicking and screaming. He had it at his office waiting for me for like weeks. I wouldn't go get it. Like I was really not trying to do it.
Wow.
So then I had the pen and I didn't use the pen. It was just a whole thing because of everything you just talked about, right?
Right.
And so it's just like it did feel like a betrayal. But then doing my research and understanding that like one, these medications have been around for decades, even though we're just getting them. And then
Mhm.
two, the concept that like obesity is a disease
Mm.
and you can choose to treat it or not. It's a
Yeah.
disease that may not kill you, but the comorbidities, the diseases that it will then
Lead to.
produce,
Yep.
that might be the thing that takes you out. So I'm never going to say like being a big girl is bad for me. No, being a big girl opens up other health doors that
Mm.
ultimately become maybe bad for me. So you can choose to treat your obesity or you can wait for the comorbidities to come and you can treat that, right? Like if you're pre-diabetic, that's why your doctor might be like, we need to get on this now because then we might have problems later, right? So then understanding all of that and like, okay, well, if I needed blood pressure medication and my doctor gave me a pill, I wouldn't be like, oh, the shame, I need to manage my blood pressure on my own with willpower. Like that's not something I would do, right? So
Oh,
once I started to look at it through that perspective, then it's like, okay, I'm going to do this, and the odds of success are pretty high that
mm,
I will release more weight. I don't want to gaslight my community again. Like the first 100 pounds over the 8 years, we got through it, and now everyone's kind of used to me, like what I look like now. I'm like, if I drop this 50 pounds and don't say anything, to your point, Gina, like it's rude. It's
Yeah, it's like,
rude.
we see you, girl.
Like you see me and it's happening. And I'm not gonna just be like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know, I've just been like hiking. Like I'm not gonna do that, right?
Right,
yeah.
right, right.
Okay. So that's why I made the decision to be more public about it. One, I didn't want the secrecy. I didn't want to live a secret life. I wanted that. And then also I am passionate about plus size women. And so this whole time they've been prescribing us willpower for something that needed medication.
Yes,
So,
preach.
you know, they've been doing us dirty for a very long time. So now we are blessed to be born at such a time as this, that this medication exists. And because I'm passionate about plus size women, how can I not say something? If I've said, don't wait on your weight to live the life you want. Health is a practice, not a pant size. If I've co-founded the Curvy Con, and now there's been this breakthrough that is a life changer, a lifesaver for women like me, how can I not mention
Yeah,
it? How can I, like, who am I to make that the devil, or, make that some bad thing? So then the decision of going public happened, and then the backlash happened, like you said. And because I had been through the 100-pound backlash before, it didn't surprise me, but I did feel like, from a mindset perspective, I feel like we all come to our wellness journey in our own time. And
yes.
I feel like if someone needs to unfollow me because I'm choosing to treat my obesity with medicine, that's where they are at that point in their journey. But there is someone else who has been obese and doesn't understand why they can't get past a certain point, doesn't understand that their body is at a set point, almost like a thermometer. And like you can work yourself down that 50 pounds like I always did, and your body's going to want to pop
Yeah.
back to what it was before. And that is no fault of yours. Obesity can come through life experience like childbirth. It can come, people like me. I've been obese since I was a little girl, right?
Yeah.
So times are changing, the science is changing, and we're here. There are so many plus size and obese people before us that did not live to see this breakthrough.
Right.
So I think that the hurt of people saying that I submitted to diet culture, even the words like
Mm.
submit, right? Like that's such a deep thing to say to someone like me, knowing what my career has been. But all of that was worth it, is worth it to me, because I do feel like this is a longevity issue. And I want women like us, plus size women of color, I want us all here as long as possible. We all have things to give. And that was even with don't wait on your weight to live the life you want. That was always my thing. Like, is there some brilliant, you know, executive or business person who's not putting themselves out there because she's plus size and like doesn't want to like go to business school or like whatever that is, you know what I mean? So the idea of your weight being such a lifestyle decider or a longevity decider or like a success decider, like I think being on a GLP-1 has opened up room in my life, in my thinking, to focus on other things that is more of my purpose and who I am. I don't have to now like live to like be on a diet or trying to figure it out. So I've said a lot. I'll stop there. I hope I
No,
answered
it
your
was so
question.
good.
That was
Yeah,
good.
I was
You
gonna
answered
say to
everything.
you, at least from what I've seen, you're in a very unique space because even though our our social media, most people's social media is filled with you should eat this, you should work out like this, it's not an inclusive space. But then you're also struggling with I want to live. And then what I've noticed is that it's hard to juggle both. At least for me, I found that wellness is very isolating. It was
Mm.
as isolating as it was being a new mom. And
Mm.
it was in a space where I was like, I'm already ostracized because you're no longer who you used to be.
Mhm.
So it's almost like weight loss is very similar. You're no longer who you used to be. So it's this lack of identity, but it
Mm.
felt familiar. So I was like, I often people are like, you do this with so much intensity. Why? It's because it's very familiar. And I got comfortable being different.
Mhm.
But it doesn't get rid of the trauma. It's
Mm.
still very there. Um, when you post, you're proud of the decisions you've made. Other people do think, whether you're on a GLP or not, this is a fad. This is a moment versus this is a conscious decision. And I know every day when I make this decision, there are going to be several people that hate it, even though it is the right one to make.
Mm.
It is the most strange place to be.
Mm.
However, I guess the silver lining is when you're in wellness spaces, authenticity shines through.
Mm.
Those people are the people that light up rooms. They make people feel safe. They make people feel like they can be honest about their successes and their opportunities. It's such a dynamic space. And I love that you've had all these different pivots. You can live it. It's so comforting because that doesn't exist. I would have never found your page. And it's
Mm.
funny that like Gina, you found her page. I would have never found it. I wouldn't have found most of these pages I didn't find. I'm now finding them. And now I think in our first episode I talked about it. I was a part of that. The first introduction was in a very, I felt predatory environment. You have to look fit. You have to be skinny. You have to be fat. And through this podcast or creating this space with Gina, it's helped me unlearn. I was like, oh, this space can be very toxic. So the
Gina, what do
fact that
you?
you're still finding a way to find joy
Mm.
and being positive, that should never be overlooked because this space can get very, very dark. I didn't realize how toxic this is until now I'm in it. And I asked Gina, now I'm like, I hate everything about it. It gives me the ick. I literally was like, I want to do this by myself. And the reason why I love Peloton and some of the instructors is while you're on the ride, sometimes when they say to you, you're doing this, right? Don't you feel good? And I was like, I never realized, even with an instructor, they never said that.
Mm.
Never, never, no instructor, no fitness
Mm.
coach while I was doing it. It was like, come on, I know you're tired, but get through it. No one ever
Mm.
said it feels good, right? And you're going to feel great when you get off.
Mm.
That is why they have the secret sauce. And I think their people first mentality has the secret sauce because everyone has a story.
Yeah.
I said a lot, but like, I think it's important that people don't understand when we choose to be in this space, it's not very inclusive, it's not very inviting, and it opens you up to a lot of criticism. To the fact that you're still pushing through, I want to acknowledge that you can forgive, but you don't have to forget. And people do owe you that
Don't
space
worry,
to
I won't forget.
apologize. Like, so I will apologize for those people. I probably was one of those people. Like, I've seen people go in it, and I haven't seen people announce. I've been the side eye, and I'd be like, she did
Well,
something.
I still do that. I feel a particular way when people just don't say what they're doing. Like you're
Yeah.
clearly doing something. Like I appreciate, there's another friend of mine who's in the space and she has been very for over a year, maybe 2 years. Like she'd be like, "Girl, I'm out here walking. I'm walking everywhere. I'm doing this." Like, and I'll be like, "Wow, she did 8 miles today. This, that, and the third." So when she started losing weight, and she got I knew why. It wasn't like all of
Yeah.
a sudden she just started taking pictures and was in, a size 8, right? Like that's what some people have done. So anyway, we don't need to go down that highway, but I do
Yes.
appreciate you answering that and sharing like the journey because I know I definitely was like, I don't like this for CeCe at all.
Well,
And I thought you handled it like a person obviously who had been through it, but you did such
yeah.
a good job that I was kind of like, yeah, shake the haters off. Who cares about them?
Well, this is great. This leads us to this part. How can women advocate for themselves? How are you actively, now that you're on the other side of what I like to call trauma? Gina, this brings me back to season 1 when you told me about your intervention that I had. I'm still not over that.
Oh, the fat intervention. I had a
I'm
fat
still,
intervention, CC.
I'm still not over it.
I
Yeah,
had
exactly. That was my face. And it's
so
still,
the summary for CC, and you can probably go back and listen to the episode. but it was our first episode ever. But I had some friends that decided they wanted to talk to me about my weight gain. And so they came together and they came to me and was like, here are the things we think you could do to start to lose weight. And one of them was a card for a bariatric surgeon. And I was like, what is, I thought we were having brunch. Like I didn't know we were in an intervention or
CeCe
what
has my
have
whole
you.
face. I still have that face. I was like, what?
Oh
What are you
my
So
saying?
it was traumatic, but I go to therapy, or I went to therapy, and I think therapy helped me realize that it wasn't about me, and that
God.
was more about them than it was about anybody else. So we're fine now.
Yep.
We've since had the conversations individually, me and each person. Things are different, but we're fine now.
Yes.
And I'm okay with it. Ashley is still fired up like it happened yesterday. This was years ago, but
Because it goes back to this question. How do you advocate for yourself in those spaces? Like,
Mhm.
it's so hard to lead with grace. It's so hard not to then you think about this when these things happen, they can have a ripple effect. You can go back and bury yourself in eating. You can pick up bad routines, and they happen often.
mm-hmm.
I lost weight. I started getting muscular. I've had someone tell me that I look like a man. I told you, I've had men walk up to me and be like, your lats look great. And I was like, I've never had a man say that to me ever.
I don't
I'd
even know
rather
where
you
lats are,
whistle. I
but
don't know.
congrats.
So it's like the people don't know what to say. It's almost like grief. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to approach it. So when you are hit with these situations, how do you
How do you
advocate for
advocate?
yourself, and then how do you continue on? I think that's so important because you can't promise it's not going to happen. It actually will continue to happen, like you said. I think you're now prepared, CeCe, that the more that scale goes down, I'm sure you've made yourself more equipped to deal, created the tools with your therapist and everything. We all got the tools now to deal with it, right? But for some people who are starting, who don't want to start, who don't want the allegations, how do they do it? And there's no blueprint, there's no right answer, but I think you have a really great experience.
You've both said so much. You've both said so
Ashley
much.
always does a lot. I'm just gonna share that.
I
For a person that doesn't do anything, I say a lot.
I love it because you're making me think. So
Yeah.
first I want to just I'm sorry that that happened to you, Gina. And
Thank you.
I'll say more offline, but I'm sorry about that. I do want to talk about I do want to talk about fat intervention though, right? The intervention of the obese people in our life, or the people in our lives with obesity. That's what I should say. Obesity is a disease, and I think that two things I want to say about the intervention, the obesity interventions of it all. I think that when it comes to the doctor's office, that is sometimes the first place where the trauma can happen when it
Yes.
comes to our
Mhm.
weight, right?
Mhm.
And I've been through that myself. Um, at the same time, I want to challenge us as women, especially plus size women or women who our weight might be an issue. Weight is such a charged topic.
Mm-hmm.
It is rarely ever the right time for it to be brought up. There is rarely ever like the perfect balance of sun and moon and stars for someone to say, so your obesity, right? So even when we go into those doctors' offices, there are moments where the doctors bring it up and it is uh violent or traumatic or painful, and I'm not saying that that's okay, and those moments you do need to advocate for yourself, and like we can talk about that in a second. But before I stand up for us, I also want to say sometimes when we go into the medical environment, we need to kind of have that open heart to hear the
Mhm.
thing we don't want to hear, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oftentimes when someone brings up our weight, it's shame that comes with that. It's regret. It's not something you don't know anyway, right? Like I'm living in this body. Of course I know, right? So someone bringing it up, even with the best intentions, there's never going to be that right time. So if your doctor is bringing it up in a way that feels respectful, like how my doctor did with the pen, it was kind of like, okay, look, you've done so well, but your numbers, you're still in that pre-diabetic thing. Like we're not able to shake this. Like I think we need to look at this, right? The for me my knees were the main thing.
Mhm.
So on the number stuff, the pre-diabetic was like there a little bit. My knees, like I said, I had a lateral meniscus tear. So for every pound you lose, you take 4 pounds of pressure off your knees, right? So I feel good in this size 18 version of myself, but my knees are still singing songs, right? So we need to figure
Mhm.
that out. That's what this next 50 pounds is about. I think if you are in a situation with a doctor where they aren't making you feel validated, maybe you went in for something else and they're bringing up your weight and you're like, that's not what I'm here for, like that sort of thing. I think asking for documentation is a really good way to advocate for yourself. So the minute you say like, hey, I'm here for, I don't know, a UTI, and they're like, oh, but your obesity, you can say like, hear you on the obesity. Could you mark down that I wanted to talk about the UTI and you only spoke about this? Or, hey, can you just
Mhm.
write it down in the notes, like what we talked about? Like making sure that they understand, like you can't just flip it, like make me feel some type of way. So asking for documentation, I feel like is always great. Switching doctors, don't be afraid to do that. There's not the end all be all. No doctor has the final say. When it comes to our interpersonal things, I find, again, I'm going to talk about one side, to your friends who came to you. If I had a friend that I felt that way about, and I have people in my life that I have that type of relationship with, where the obesity is a thing that is up, and I love you and I want you here. And so, how can I talk to 100,000 women and not talk about it in my own
Yeah.
backyard? Like, I
Right.
can't do that. But
Mhm.
generally speaking, I take the approach of like I live in New York City and living in going in like Ubers or cabs and things like that. Like there was a minute where I was realizing like, oh my gosh, like when did I stop putting on my seatbelt? Like when I'm in the
Mhm.
suburbs, I always do it, but if I just hop in a cab, like I don't. And I realized like if I'm riding with a friend, if I just get in and put on my seatbelt in the back of the cab, they'll put on their seatbelt. Like so sometimes it's just
Mhm.
by doing, right? If
Right.
you have the friends that you always go to brunch, maybe it's like, hey, can we go walk Central Park today instead? Like, hey, like I don't really want to do a food centered thing. Can we go try this dance class? Like sometimes it's just about showing by example. Take care of
Yes.
you, put your oxygen mask on, and then the people next to you or around you will likely fall in line, right?
Right.
So if you love the people around you and you want to see change, then you be the change and keep your don't come to them, don't make me get Bible. Don't look at
Yes,
the thing in somebody else's eye and you have a big eye, something in your eye. What is the Bible?
yes,
What does the scripture say? You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking
Don't
about.
get me to
yes.
don't get me to lying because I'm
Listen,
not a Bible quoter.
there
We're
is,
Maybe
just
actually
talking.
she's been
but
talking
you
a
get
lot
my
about
point,
quotes.
right? Like
Yeah.
Yes.
don't call out in someone else. Just take care of you. Put your
Right.
health first. Big health the
Right.
center of anything you do. I think that's one way to approach it. And then when we do feel like there are people in our lives that we do need to say something to, I have found one, I will ask them, like, hey, if I ever wanted to talk to you about this, like, is there a way you like to hear about it? Do you not want to hear about it? Like, is that something we can talk about? And I've had people say to me, I really like when you give me information and education, and then I can make decisions myself. So again, I come from my experience, right? Like I am the one calling my family saying like, "Oh my goodness, did you know that obesity is a disease and we all have it? I'm taking this thing called a GLP-1. I am giving
Yes.
myself a jab every week and this is why," right? Like I come from a mixed
Mhm.
size family, so my dad is very slender on my mom's side of the family. That's where I get my obesity from, right? So my dad explaining it to my dad, like, hey, this is actually what I've been going through. Like, he's like blown, right? But it's
Right.
an education conversation. Then that gets to be part of like a family conversation and go like that. So I
Mhm.
think I don't, I understand the feeling of how can I not say something to someone I love? But I don't think that shame or putting someone on the spot is the way to go. So the examples I gave is kind of how I like to think about it. And I will be frank and say that I have people in my personal life who will say I have people who I had a friend say to me at the height of my like body positivity and all that. She was like, "Don't come at me with that body positive BS." Because I was trying to tell her, like, you look great. You don't have to, you could take that off. You can show your arms. Like, and she's like, get away from me with that body positivity. So even good things, people are like, no, right? And then I have people in my life that are like, listen, I wanna kind of get on my health journey, but and I want to ask you, but like don't come on too strong, okay, CeCe? Like
Oh my
just give it
God.
to me
I hate
gentle,
that
right?
though.
Like
It's like playing double dutch. You either want me to get in or not. I don't like that. But my own spouse tends to say, I feel like you're trying to outlive me. And I'm like, no, I'm just trying to be able, when I put my foot on the ground, everything doesn't hurt. I'm really not doing this for you or anybody else. Like you said, my knees.
My knees, my knees.
What
I think you're trying to outlive me is a really cute way to say it, though. That's
That's
cute.
what he says. And I'm like, do you want to join me on this living forever? Let's
Let's do
try. I
it.
don't know. I listen, at the end of the day, we could think we're the most skinny people could be unhealthy. So like
Oh, most definitely.
it goes both ways. But
It
I
does.
I love your way of I'll show you better than I'll tell you. And
Yeah,
I
I think
think
more,
that's important.
yeah, I think more people need to follow that because I think, and even like the doctors and things, because I remember that's what got me really passionate in health equity is like every time I go to the doctor, I'll be in there for something. It'll be like, oh, I think I broke my finger, and they'll be like, how long have you been overweight? Be like, my finger has nothing to do with this. I mean, I can answer it. Like
You
my
know
weight,
what I want to know, Gina?
huh?
It's almost like as soon as I think about it like in a relationship, if someone just met you and you're like, oh, this person's cute, and they just ask you for their number, you haven't had a conversation for more than 5 minutes. That's how the doctor feels when I walk in and they tell me, get on the scale.
Yes,
I just got here. You didn't ask me how my day was, how
right.
I've been feeling.
Get to know me.
That bedside manner, I went to the ER with my foot. I have a tear in my calf now. And the first thing they told me to do, guys, is what?
Get on the scale.
I can't walk. And he said to me, do you need help?
Yeah,
Why does my weight matter at this moment when I can't walk? And that's
right.
when you're like, the weight of it all, which is what led to this name of this podcast. Why is this when did the scale become the only measurement that matters?
I think years ago, and I'm no scientist, but
Yeah.
this is I'll say this. What I learned from my own wellness journey is that the doctors, we think that they're like pure geniuses, but what
Hmm.
they're really following is a guideline that they
Yep.
have been taught. And it had X questions, and they just
Mhm.
verbatim. What's your height? What's your weight? Oh, if this is your weight, everything is associated with your weight because you
Yep.
are now obese. To CeCe's point, obesity leads to more comorbidities. So they think, oh, once they see their weight, they've decided what it is. I cannot tell you how many doctors I've been to. I did get weighed, and they tell me I have diabetes. I do not have diabetes. How long have you had diabetes? Lady, I do not have diabetes.
That's
We're gonna have to
crazy.
get your blood work. I get my blood work all the time. I do not have diabetes. Now, it's all because they're basing it on the weight that's been given to them. And instead of them being like, and there's some doctors, which I have found those doctors, thank the Lord, praise,
Find your people.
find your people that do start to talk to you and ask you about the questions and don't lean into that one thing and actually have curiosity about what you're doing, what your health path is. Until I found them, I was like, baby, I see why people don't go to the doctor
Yes.
because they don't listen. Like there's a group of them that is just trying to get people in and out and they
Yeah.
follow whatever that form is. And I think that's the problem. Like we've got to change bigger problems for another day. But the medical industry, it's probably got to has to change the way they're
CeCe's
looking at
changing
people.
it
She is
slowly by
slowly but
integrating.
surely.
So how
Yes.
can the people connect with you? When I say find your people, we have now found our person that
Oh,
we can advocate for. How can they find you, connect with you? And we'll leave these last couple of minutes for you to talk to us about what exciting things do you have going on. Um,
Oh,
because that's the best part about this connection and in working with you and working with our new guest is that
yeah. We really want people's voices to get heard and
yes,
stories, and then for them to also share what could be beneficial to our listeners. Few but mighty, but they're we're building.
listen,
I'm into it.
we'll get there.
Yeah, no, I appreciate being here. If you all upload on YouTube, you can add me as a collaborator on YouTube. I'm happy to share it out that way. I know that's like a new function they just
Oh,
launched,
is
so
it? Oh, yes,
feel
awesome.
free.
We do upload on
Yes.
YouTube. Thank
Yep,
you.
feel free whenever you want to do that. And then on Instagram, if you
Yes.
want to invite me as a collaborator, I will do that. Sometimes I don't accept that day. I try to on the first one and then keep adding me and I'll just
Yep.
accept them as they go in my grid.
Yeah.
Um, so with that being said, right now, and I'm sorry, loud New York City is in the background.
Can't hear it.
Um,
I can't hear it.
my
Zoom is
okay,
zooming.
good. Okay, good. Yeah, my name is spelled CeCeOlisa. CeCe Olisa. So you can find me on all social media. Instagram is where I post the most. And right now I am going through all the things that nobody told me about my GLP-1 journey. So last night we were talking about loose skin. People are in the comments talking about how they got their skin removal and what they're doing. And I'm sharing the products that I'm liking to use. So I've kind of created like a little GLP-1 companion guide at cceolisa.com. So kind of the main questions I get, like I have a body audit kit. Like I love a full-length mirror for like not using the scale. Like I love to be naked in front of a full-length mirror as much as possible. I love, measuring tape and different things like that to kind of like mark our journey along the way for those of us who want like different ways to not be obsessive. So I tried to kind of create just like, hey, this is what works for me. This is how I'm dealing with, tummy issues. This is how I'm dealing with hydration, getting my protein in, all that kind of stuff, making it easy. And then just having the conversation. So that's happening on Instagram right now. People seem to be enjoying the series.
It is a good one.
And if you need me, just slide in the DMs and I'll get back to you when I can.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's great. Thank you so much, CeCe, for being a part of our podcast and for sharing your story and your journey and what you're doing. And always a pleasure to have a friend on and to be able to bring you out to people that I know so that they can finally see what I'm always raving about when I talk about
Yes.
success. So thank you for coming. And
My
thank
pleasure.
Ashley, anything you want to say?
No, this was amazing. This was like a moment. I want you to know. I
Aw.
almost cried during this episode.
Oh,
It was a
look at this
moment. I
sugar
needed
dip.
it in a space. Well, now I'm in a space that I can't move like how I used to. So to find other ways to find what works for you. I think I love this about this episode and what we're trying to convey is that it doesn't need to look the same. I know
Yes.
our algorithm has a very specific look, but it doesn't need to look like that. It can be messy, it can be great, you can have ups and downs. I love everything about this episode. And I hope it finds the right people so that they can start their journey and they have people that can help cheer them on. So super excited, so glad that you're here.
Yeah, thank you. So thanks to CeCe Olisa. I'm Gina.
Old school,
Ashley.
new school, need to
And we
know
thank you
this.
for watching
Get your
or
game up,
listening
you
to
better
Listening
keep
to This.
focused.